At least 3 people are dead in Georgia in the wake of Hurricane Matthew. We have crews surveying the destruction. Channel 4's Ethan Callaway is in St. Mary's.
But we begin with Bakari Savage, who just landed in Savannah, Georgia. He spent 2 hours up in the air flying in a Coast Guard helicopter, getting a view of the barrier islands from above. He's joining us now live with what he saw. Bakari?
Okay, so during our aerial tour of the damage, we went up in one of the helicopters like you see back there, and I gotta tell you, it was clear that the barrier islands felt Matthew the most. Clear signs of beach erosion and a decent-sized storm surge. Matthew made his mark on the barrier islands along the southeast. Tree after tree brought to the ground. In this area, more than 100,000 utility customers are still without power. But that's a small price to pay for how much worse this could have been.
Matthew had the potential to completely wipe out the barrier islands. But from what we've been able to see, there's only been just a little bit of beach erosion and some downed trees. Other than that, looks like things have held up pretty well.
That was just along that stretch of Jekyll Island. Some parts did better than others. But look at St. Simon's, Tybee Island, and Hilton Head. The damage grows, and you can see the intensity of Hurricane Matthew, even as a Category 2 storm. Another thing you notice about the islands, there are no real signs of life. That's because people haven't been able to come back. Again, some areas are more affected than others. Still, lots of downed trees blocking streets. Some unfortunate homeowners had trees land on top of houses. All of this was heartbreaking to our pilot, who flies up and down the coast once a week.
It's hard to see what a lot of the folks are going to have to go through with. You can see a lot of trees through houses, roofs, a lot of roof damage with pine trees and oak trees that have toppled over. So it's definitely hard to see.
Gillum says Matthew didn't come without incident on the water either. Yesterday morning, they had to hoist a guy whose sailboat washed ashore. And at 10 o'clock, we're going to show you the video that the guy who was rescued from that boat, he posted on Facebook Live just before his rescue, and we'll be joining you near the causeway in Brunswick. At the U.S. Coast Guard Air Station in Savannah, Bakari Savage, Channel 4, the local station.
All right, thanks so much, Bakari. And now to St. Mary's, where residents are telling Channel 4's Ethan Callaway that it could have been a lot worse.
Joining us live, and Ethan, you spent the afternoon seeing the damage and the cleanup.
That's right, Mary and Tark, where I'm standing right now in downtown St. Mary's. This was actually underwater about 48 hours ago. To my left here is the St. Mary's River. All of that water was pushed this way into downtown businesses and homes, and tonight they are cleaning up. Even as the cleanup continues, with much of the city still without power, an expression of gratitude for those working to keep people safe.
Thank you so much. Thank you, honestly. And to know our property is being taken care of, you guys are the best.
Chief Tim Hatch with the St. Mary's Police Department says the story here in St. Mary's is wind damage. While storm surge made a big impact along the downtown riverfront, many trees are down across the city, leading to widespread power outages.
The problem that we face here is the utility pole at the far corner of this intersection snapped, and all of the wires came down, and obviously we had a couple trees that you can see up and down the line here, one there, one back behind my vehicle. These trees also fell across the line.
A little damage, but not a whole lot. Little dings on the roof and some broken things on the dock, but nothing major. Very good, very lucky.
Kenneth Hayes owns this home in St. Mary's Land's End neighborhood right on the water. He says his home and the others around it were mostly spared from what could have been devastation.
I was expecting some trees to be down and some major roof damage, and probably not to have a dock left at all.
The National Guard is playing a major role in the recovery here. Chief Hatch says their help, along with that of organizations from across the state, has been invaluable. 30 officers of the St. Mary's Police Department overwhelmed by the help they've received.
The officers couldn't be prouder of them. They've all responded well and answered the call for sure.
Now, they are hoping to have all of that power restored here within the next 24 hours. It remains to be seen if that'll actually happen, but that is what they're pushing for. After this, we are heading to Nassau County, where hundreds of homes and businesses saw damage, and initial estimates, cost estimates that is, are totaling in the millions. We'll have more on that coming up tonight. For now, we're live in St. Mary's. I'm Ethan Callaway, Channel 4, the local station.